motivational moment for today, and we're just waiting for it to arrive. And then we will dive right into the quote that we have today, which is a really great one. We're going to read it in a second. So, my name is Jennifer Clark, and
I'm Elka Clark.
and we do our motivational moments every day during the week, sporadically throughout the day. And if you have not joined us, this is our moment where we take a quote that we resonate with and we speak about it in terms of how we view the quote and how it is, how we see it, and how our thoughts on it based on everything that's going on in the world right now, especially in terms with COVID-19, and then also to give you some inspiration and positivity to keep you in a positive mindset during this really tough time, because we know that times are very uncertain and you might just need that extra boost of energy and a smile and to get that inspiration to keep yourself happy and in a good space. So today's quote is, kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love, by Lao Tzu. Hopefully we're saying that properly. But this is a wonderful quote because it really resonates with me in terms of how when you give something, and you always say give something, or if you treat others as you want to be treated. However, this is also going into a certain emotion. So giving kindness and kindness in certain aspects of your life too creates and generates things that are positive and actually helps you grow in a positive space. So kindness in your words, if you speak to somebody, create kindness and speak to them with certain words in the way that you want to be
spoken to.
And so this creates confidence within you, and then also confidence within the other person. It can go both ways. And then
it's just amazing. Actually, I'm going to interrupt you because it's just amazing what a few words can say one way or the other, right? It's negative words or positive words. And I think that's what it's really doing here is we don't say a lot about kindness and complimenting people. We are more into what's wrong with the person or what you don't like, and that's the conversation we have. It's people almost like kind of when you say something kind, they kind of go, thanks, like as if like where did that come from and how am I supposed to react to that? And but it if you start to have it as a habit, it creates that confidence that she said that about me, or he said that about me. It's like, yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah. And talking about negative and positive spaces, one negative thought needs seven positive thoughts to counteract it and create that balance back to get you into that positive space. So just be kind to other people and say kindness in your words, and that creates the confidence in yourself and then also in the other person. And so kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Do you want, what's going to?
Well, just checking to make sure we can see everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kindness in thinking creates profoundness, and so profoundness can be used in the term in terms of being intelligent and profound thinking and creating great thoughts and brainstorming and stuff. I see it that way anyway, and you can say what you think too. But in terms of creating kindness in your thinking, this will create profound thoughts that will create a positive space for you and keep you motivated to creating and keep going and moving forward. And it's sort of like a very I want to say intangible thing, right? Sometimes we think about like facts and numbers, but this is a very like what do I want to say here? It's
I don't know. Keep going. I think you're being profound.
Maybe I'm being profound, but I think in terms of the kindness in thinking, it doesn't make sense to you right away. I think you really have to think about it twice. So creates profoundness. Profoundness is, for me, in a specific term, it means that I am being profound in terms of my thinking, like I'm being a genius type of thing.
Yeah, you're going beyond what you normally think every day, right? So it brings you to sort of that level where we like being at when people talk about these things and they go, wow, this is like a whole other level of thinking. You're going beyond the everyday and worrying about the basics. You're now in more of that philosopher thought. And what kindness does in terms of creating profoundness, what for me, that means that you are taking, like, because you're doing acts of kindness, you are creating a thought process in your own head that gives you that ability to move into that level of more of the thought leaders and so on, where you're thinking more high level. How can I save the community and the world? And also just in your own life, you're viewing that a lot differently, not just the everyday thinking about yourself and ego. You're becoming more aware of how you can influence others by being profound, like kind, and being like at that level of profoundness yourself. And I think that's where you're trying to get to.
Yeah,
right?
I was trying to say that, but I couldn't articulate it properly.
We think alike, and we know what the other person wants to say. Okay, so what about kindness in giving kindness in giving creates love?
This one is much more simple, I think.
or it could be actually the top.
Yeah, but in terms of actually understanding it on that basic level, kindness in giving creates love. So if you are kind in your giving, if you're thoughtful in giving back, and in terms of giving back to your community, giving back to your family, giving back to yourself, creates self-love and love for you as a space. You are love, and you create love, and you give love, and kindness is the root of all of that, because if you come from a place of kindness and purity, then you're not looking for love. Love just comes and it's created.
Yeah,
right.
And I like it's the giving part of that last statement. So kindness in giving. So when you are giving, not just because you feel forced or you think you have to, or because the other person, like we had this neighborhood email come through, and it's like, well, we should give because we're to the food bank, for example, because we should give and help out. And it was meant in the most kindest way, but there was definitely sort of a underlying tone of, well, we have to because now someone said so. We were going to give it anyway, but now it was like, so that was what you want to do, is give from pure of heart. And kindness, like, so your kindness of absolute pure wanting to give, not because of any sort of pressure whatsoever or thought process that would be related to ego. You then that creates love. So like you just say, I have to do this. I need to help out. I need to give my money to the food bank. And it doesn't matter if you ever see who is affected by it, but you know that it's generated love because it's given out of the pure act of kindness from your heart. And I think that's what you're ultimately always looking for is love. Love is what makes the world go round. There's so many songs about love, but it's so true. Ultimately, nothing else is important except for love. And especially in this time of weird stuff happening with COVID virus, you have like COVID-19 or coronavirus, I put them together, you have this weird sense of what happened to love. How is this possible that love can be happening right now because of all this horrible stuff happening? But it's truly still out there. It's in the person who's checking out your groceries when you're going to the grocery store. It's in the person who's helping in the ER. It's the person who checks on their neighbor, or who puts their some food at the step for someone who's isolated and can't get out, and the neighbor cooks them food. And those are acts of kindness, and that creates so much love. And the love is then received by the person, and that person just blooms with love, even though they don't even know why. All of a sudden they feel good. They feel like someone cares about themselves. Like the world's not actually a crazy, excuse my language, place. Like it's just like all of a sudden you realize there's love and there's hope, and from love stems hope. And then that's really cool, because that's what we need right now. And I think that's why this quote is just so appropriate today.
Yes. No, I completely agree.
All right. So we will see you in the next quote session in Motivational Moment tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Have a great day, and hopefully this helped you find kindness and realize that kindness is very important in your life to stay positive, create love, and confidence and profoundness.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.